My name is Yassin, and I was born and raised in the United States Virgin Islands, and now residing in Atlanta, Georgia. I stand before you as a mother of 4. 2 of my children were born in the USVI, and I'm the only Virgin Islander to adopt a daughter from the country of Cambodia, which is the poorest country in Asia. I'm the CEO of Let's Journey into Fashion, online women's formal wear boutique store. I'm a mental health advocate for Georgia, Florida, and the USVI. I'm an Amazon bestseller for 2 years. My memoir is entitled Journey Untold, Twisted Love, My Mother's Struggle with Mental Illness. I'm the program manager and founder of Milestones Moms organization, founded in Atlanta 2 months after I got there. It's an organization that mentors women of children with special needs and teaching them strategies on how to cope and guiding them towards resources for their children so that they can and will succeed. How to make money on Amazon expert trainer. And when I'm not doing all of these wonderful blessings, I'm a full-time dance mom to my daughter. But first and foremost, without a shadow of a doubt, number 1, I am a child of God. Amen. Now, while all of these credentials sounds wonderful, right? The true woman in front of you is extremely humbled by these blessings. Because you see, I have these blessings, though life has been extremely difficult for me. You see, I'm a daughter of a mother that walked the streets during the day. A mother that made up her own language. A mother that heard voices in her head. 7, in fact. A mother that bathed in rubbing alcohol because she was manic and had the fear of germs. A mother that counted every single strand of ground beef and every single grape. You see, my mother lived with schizophrenia after going undiagnosed with depression for too long. There's amazing what the heart and the mind can endure. That even living with a mental illness, that recovery is possible. But no one did. So I'm here to hopefully open your minds towards this awareness. I've forgiven my mother's illness, and I love, honor, and cherish my mother, Bernie Simmons. May she continue to watch over me from the heavens above, smiling on me as she lost her battle with cancer in 2010. Today, you all in here have the power to be a change towards how those look towards mental illness. I want everyone in here to turn to the person next to them and raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I pledge.
I pledge.
If I choose. To see mental illness. As an asset. I open up. A great opportunity. To find happiness. More success. To serve the people. In my life. More effectively. Turning the mental illness. Into mental wellness. Amen. The World Health Organization estimates that over 400 to 500 million people on this earth are affected by this illness. Take in that number. 400 to 500 million. It's the leading cause of disability in America. Let's look at mental illness as a whole. starting with autism, ADD, ADHD, to intellectual disability in children, through to postnatal and postpartum depression, self-harm, insomnia, suicide, anxiety, bipolar, oppositional defiant, psychotic, psychoaffective, seasonal affective, schizophrenia, dissociative, eating and body dysphoric disorders, hypomania, obsessive compulsive, borderline personality, paranoia, substance abuse and misuse, physical, mental, and verbal abuse, PTSD in our soldiers and our veterans, all the way up to dementia and Alzheimer's in the elderly. Now, I know that each and every one of you in here can think of at least one person that's affected by this illness. And by the nods on your faces and your expressions on your faces, you do. What's the most troubling to me is that the vast majority of these affected do not receive the care that I know can transform your lives. The reason being is due to large fact that we lack the resources in some areas, the access. The cost of mental health care is very expensive, but mostly because of the stigma surrounding mental illness. What exactly is mental illness? Who wants to take a guess at what exactly is mental illness? Anybody want to take a chance and give an example of what they think mental illness is? I'm going to tell you. Nothing more than the organ in a body, in our bodies, the brain, simply got sick and it needs treatment. It's the most important organ in our body, but yet it's the organ in the body that deserves and needs the most attention, but we don't give it the quality of care that it needs and it deserves. Is this injustice towards this illness is why I've made it my mission to help those affected as much as I can. Okay, so we're going to do something fun because when it comes to mental illness, the topic can get very heavy. So today I'm going to give away $20. Who wants to win $20? All right, hands up. I want to win. Let me see your hands. Who wants this $20? That's what I'm talking about. This is money. Some people only get, what, $10 an hour? You can get, what, $20 in 10 minutes? All right. So what if I do this to this money and crumble it? You still want this?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. What if I throw it on the floor and stamp on it?
Yeah.
You still want this?
Yes.
All right. What if it says ugly on it? You still want it, right? I've just shown you that no matter what I do to this money, it doesn't lose its value. In life, we are crumbled. We are stamped on. We are called names. We felt unworthy. But you never lose your value. But even if you do, understand this. There is help. I want to show you something else. This money says I am mentally ill. Ooh, the mood in here just changed. Did the money value change? No. But we were ashamed just now, weren't we? You had a feeling of shame because it says I'm mentally ill. So the value didn't change. Is your perception of what other people think of you is what changed. The value is still $20. Some of us in here will be ashamed to turn in this money, but not I. And let me tell you why. Because I will hand this money to whomever with a smile on my face. Because I will tell them that I live with attention deficit disorder every day, and I overcome my anxiety, and I am successful despite my disorder. But let me show you something else. Watch this mood change. The back of this money says cancer. Oh, the mood change again. We're compassionate. We're shameful of mental illness, but we're compassionate about cancer. Both are illnesses beyond our control. So the only person that's controlling the value of these two words is whom? Yourselves. Now here's this fact. Do you know that mental illness has a higher recovery than those living with cancer? I can live a successful life with mental illness, but when it comes to cancer, I'm afraid that I may die. So what should we be doing? We should be taking care of our brain. My hopes today is that I've shifted your perspective towards mental illness and that you pass this awareness on to another. Please understand that it is okay to not be okay. Seeing a therapist was the best thing I've ever done. I learned strategies on how to cope with my attention deficit disorder. I've learned strategies to overcome my anxiety. I'm standing in front of you all here talking today. Now, while my ADD causes me to lose focus, and most people can stand and have a speech without a tool, I've learned that it's okay if I have to revert back to my tablet. It doesn't mean that I'm stupid. It doesn't mean that I don't know what I'm talking about. It means that I can lose focus, and I've accepted the fact of my truth. I'm living with attention deficit disorder, and it's okay.
Yes, yes.
Not only that, but in therapy, I learned, once I became clearer, a very shocking truth that I didn't even realize, because when it comes to mental illness, it's a very selfish illness. I was so focused on the negative and the stuff that was going on in my life that when I shifted my perspective and learned about my condition and accepted it and learned strategies, you know what I found out? That all that time my children were hurting because they're a reflection of what you're going through. I have a 29-year-old son that's successfully and productively living with undiagnosed bipolar. And I say undiagnosed because once you've reached a certain age, it's hard for me to get him treatment. So unfortunately, he self-medicates, but I get it. He's an adult. That's why I advocate for children, because we as parents need to understand that up until that child turns 18 or the child is special needs 21, you have the power to drag that child kicking and screaming to therapy.
Yeah.
21 on one day, you have lost your power. And there is nothing you can do except Baker Act your child. That's it. So listen to the symptoms. I gave you the names of those. And the reason why I stated all the names of the mental illness is because all we hear is mental illness. But very seldom we put the name to the different symptoms that we see. And that's why I read them to you, because now when you leave here, you will understand it's not just mental illness. They have different forms and their names. Okay. So now you can be more compassionate towards this illness. I thank you. Many blessings in return, and God bless. Thank you.